The Amber Heard and Johnny Depp defamation case, somehow still being talked about. For those of us who are still following the aftershocks of the trial, I'm still here to bring you even more news about it. When the trial first ended, TikTok and social media were taken over by an anonymous user who claimed to have been a juror on the trial, them sharing their own opinions about Amber's actions and how they hadn't believed a single word of what she had to say. But most people ended up thinking that guy was lying. Well, there's now even more controversy coming out surrounding a juror, this time one that was present in the trial that Amber's team alleged was actually fake, apparently not being the actual person that had been called up to be present. On Friday, Amber's team filed even more documents requesting that the verdict be completely thrown out. Her lawyers continuing to argue that Depp's team did not provide sufficient evidence in the case and that Johnny was never actually named in the op-ed that Amber Heard wrote in the Washington Post, which is of course what started this whole thing. We obviously know now, however, that this isn't the only thing they were arguing. They also said that one of the jurors was not actually the person that they said they were. Apparently the person who was juror number 15 who had been summoned to court was not actually the juror number 15 that showed up and sat through the trial. If you don't know, every citizen once they reach legal age is put on a list for jury duty, and you can be randomly called up to sit on the jury and make a decision in a trial. They can be for long, high-profile cases like this one, or just small cases that won't even take an hour to sit through. You can be exempt from jury duty for things like where you live, disabilities, etc. So juror number 15 was one of these people who received a letter in the mail requesting that they showed up. On the paperwork, the person who was called up was born in 1945, making them around 80 years old for the time of the trial. Amber's lawyers said that the person who showed up looked much younger, appearing to have only been born in the 1970s, making them around 50 years old, a full 30 years younger than the person who was legally required to show up. So would this actually make a difference in the case? Yes, it would. If the court is found as not having done their due diligence in vetting the jury and ensuring that the right people showed up, it would be grounds for the jury's verdict to be completely thrown out and the case to be seen as invalid. So Amber's team are definitely pursuing a valid angle to try and have the verdict thrown out. So how much standing does their claim actually have, beyond the person in the trial just looking younger than they probably should? Well, according to their documents, they actually have some evidence to back up their claims. The address and last name of the juror are shared by two different people who live in the home, one who is 77 years old and one who is 52 years old, matching the correct age of the juror and the suspected age of the one that actually showed up to the trial. They say that the younger person failed to correctly identify themselves, lying about being the person who had received the jury summons, and that the online documents of the jury listed the wrong birth year, 1945, instead of the birth year of the person they allege actually showed up. As of right now, it doesn't look like any new information has come out regarding the juror and if they were actually lying about their identity, or if it was just a 77-year-old with an immaculate skincare routine and a baby face. These papers are not a part of Amber's appeal, which is still trying to move forward. Instead, just a separate filing to get the verdict completely thrown out. As more information comes out, I'll be sure to keep you updated, but that's all I have for now. I've been your host, Woody. Join us next time for more.